Hi guys, Alana McGinn from Goodnight Sleep Site, and I thought that I would check in with you guys. I just got my hair done, so I thought, you know what, I'm not going to waste a good blowout, and I'm going to go on Facebook Live and answer some sleep questions. So if you guys have any sleep questions, post them in the comments below, or just, you know what, you can post them even if I'm done filming, and then I can jump on in the next day or two and answer any questions that you guys have. Again, hello everybody, it's Alana McGinn from Goodnight Sleep Site. If you want to find out more information on Goodnight Sleep Site and how to work with a Goodnight consultant, you can head over to goodnightsleepsite.com. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what was going on our Facebook page this week, and a really popular topic on some articles that we posted was on early bedtimes. So if you want to head over there, well, if you're watching this, you're on our Facebook page, Goodnight Sleep Site, and feel free to watch some of those articles that I posted on the importance of early bedtime. And there was some great articles on that, and it sparked a lot of conversation with you guys on the Facebook page, and I wanted to talk about it. And as you guys know, I am an early bedtime pusher, okay? I really support earlier bedtimes and families trying to get their kids down to sleep a lot earlier at night. Often when we're seeing sleep issues happen, whether they be bedtime battles excuse me, or night wakings or early morning wakings, often it's a result of kids going to bed too late. And when I say kids, I'm talking babies up to toddlers, preschoolers, tweens, adolescents, adults, okay? We're all going to bed way too late, and I get why it is, okay? Our day-to-day is busy. There's a lot of working parents, or kids have activities. By the time you get home, by the time you get dinner on the table, get our kids fed, spend time with our families, bedtime's too late. And I do understand that, but we have to look at the importance of why, people like myself, sleep consultants like myself, why these articles are being written on promoting earlier bedtime. So what I loved about these articles was they talked a lot about the science involved in it, okay? So we're looking at the physical, the emotional, the cognitive development and well-being of promoting these earlier bedtimes for our kids, okay? When we're looking at what kind of, it's not just about the amount of sleep our kids get, and having an earlier bedtime definitely promotes having our kids get the amount of sleep that they need, okay? Remember, our kids need a lot more sleep than we do. But what I love about those earlier bedtimes is it also promotes better quality of sleep, okay? So we do tend to get more restorative sleep in the earlier part of the night. So when our kids are going down to bed earlier, when we're going down to bed earlier, we're getting better restorative sleep, okay? So deeper sleep, our bodies are able to repair and re-energize and get better for the next day and get better rested for the next day. So there's a reason why I do promote an earlier bedtime, and why I do want families to start getting their kids down to sleep a lot earlier. Again, I know it's hard. I'm going to actually post some articles I've written on it, both on my blog, through Yummy Mommy Club as well, on how to help your children go to bed a lot earlier. With working parents, I'm going to actually post an article specifically for you on tips that you can do to help promote an earlier bedtime in your home. There's a YouTube video that I also shot that I will post as well. So once I'm done filming, check on the comments and I'll post these articles in the comments for you guys to read. If you are a working parent and it is harder to get our kids down to sleep earlier, there are certain steps that you can do, okay? So work with your daycare, work with your preschool, maybe get PJs on, at daycare, maybe, and it doesn't have to be every night, guys, okay? If you can do majority of the evenings, fantastic. If there's one or two nights where life happens and bedtime's too late, I get it. Life happens, okay? Stuff happens. So that's okay. But if you can try and promote it majority of the night, so 80% of the time, remember the 80-20 rule, 80% of the time, even better, okay? So get daycare involved. Maybe some nights daycare can give your child dinner. Maybe you can prep dinner before you go to work so that when you get home, everything's ready and you can get dinner on the table that much quicker. There's easier meals that maybe you can make on the nights that you want to promote that earlier bedtime. And then on the weekends, when you have more control of the schedule, really focus on those earlier bedtimes on the weekends, okay? So how do we get our kids to go down to sleep a little bit earlier? being consistent with it. So a lot of you guys who are watching now have younger kids, have infants, have babies. If you can start with earlier bedtimes now and start with that consistent sleep patterns now, you're gonna have less issues down the road. And an example of that is what happened with my kids last night, okay? So my kids are older. My eldest is 8, my youngest, the twins, are 5, but they go to bed early. For their age, they're still going to bed pretty early, okay? But there are some nights where I'm on my own at bedtime, and whether it just be that I just want to punch my mom card and be done for the night, or I have work to do, sometimes I do tend to make bedtime a little bit earlier than it should be. But you know what? My kids don't fight me on it because they're just used to that earlier bedtime. We've been following an earlier bedtime pattern and routine since they were babies. So last night, as an example, my eldest is 8. Her bedtime is around 8. But you know what? Last night, she went to bed at 7 with her brother and sister because I was done, okay? I needed my night to be done. I needed to punch that mom card, okay? But she didn't fight me on it because she got it. She's used to having that earlier bedtime, and we had the discussion, you know, you can read quietly in your room, you know, or play quietly in your room, and once she has a clock in her room, and once it's 8 o'clock, lights out, and you go to bed. And she's like, okay, you know, it's not a big deal. So those that are watching that have babies, that have younger kids, practicing that earlier bedtime now is going to help you down the road once your kids get older, okay? And again, habits can be changed at any age. You know, I'm still working with adults that we're changing it to the earlier bedtimes, but the earlier you start, the less battles and the less difficulty you'll have changing that habits down the road, okay? Things that you can do now to also help with that earlier bedtime, again, follow that consistent pattern, have a nice, consistent, calming bedtime routine. That helps great too. It helps prepare them for sleep. Practicing those similar activities every night is going to help. It's going to help them just get used to having that earlier bedtime. The season that we're in now, it's a lot lighter out in their bedrooms, so they're going to be fighting you on why am I going to bed when the sun's still out. So introducing blackout blinds, whether they be, you know, the blackout shades, you don't have to spend a ton of money, okay? Tape up garbage bags, tape up Bristol boards. You can buy blackout panels that can go over your existing window treatments that don't cost a lot of money. So really darkening up that room at bedtime can really help. Depending on the age of your child, whether they can tell the time or not, introducing a clock. So for the younger kids, you can get these toddler clocks that visually cue them that it's time to go to bed. For the older kids, like my daughter, she can tell the time now, so she has a clock in her room. She knows what time it is when she needs to turn out the lights to go to bed. She knows what time it is in the morning, you know, when it's time to get up in the morning. The toddler clocks are great for the younger kids who can't tell the time yet. And again, just those pictures, the lights changing kind of visually cues them when it's time to go to sleep. So there's certain steps that you can take to help incorporate an earlier bedtime in your home. Again, read the articles that I'm going to post in the comments, watch the video. I provide some tips in there that will help you guys, and try and stick with that earlier bedtime, okay? You're gonna get slack from your friends and your family, and why can't you guys just stay out a bit later tonight? Especially going into the summer, we're gonna be having barbecues and family parties and things like that. 80-20 rule, guys. 80% of the time, if you can protect that consistent sleep habit, that consistent bedtime routine, fantastic. Amanda, earlier bedtimes make such a difference. I cringe when I'm out shopping at 8:30 and see younger toddlers out with their parents. It really does make such a difference. It makes such a difference in their mood. It makes such a difference in what kind of sleep they get throughout the night, in how they sleep throughout the night, and how they wake up. But it has to work for you at the same time. You know, if you have no issues with your kids' sleep or anything, you know, fine. Who am I to tell you to change anything? But, you know, normally when I'm talking to parents, whether it be at a seminar or at a workshop, normally when I'm working with a client, earlier bedtime is always part of the plan. Always part of the plan. So the more you can incorporate it, the more you can be consistent with it, the better. Honestly, again, focus on that restorative sleep. They're getting better restorative sleep, and they're getting more sleep, okay? They're getting the amount of sleep that their bodies need. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, leave your sleep questions in the comments below and I will answer them. Have a good day, everybody. And you know what? Here's a little challenge, okay? For the rest of the week, we're Thursday. So you know what? Forget that. For the next 7 days, try going to bed, your entire family, 30 minutes earlier than you normally do. Your kids and yourself, okay? See how bedtime goes. See how wake-ups are in the morning. See how night sleep is throughout the night for your kids. See how you feel at the end of the week. 30 minutes earlier. That is your challenge. If you choose to accept it, I think you're going to sleep a little bit better. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye. Oh, Lisa, I have an 11-month-old that wakes up tired at 5:15 a.m. and earlier bedtime doesn't seem to be the answer. It is. Is it more complicated than that, she asked. Early bedtime isn't the only tool, okay? And when we work with sleep training, especially with babies, 11-month-olds, we work with what we call our Good Night Toolkit, okay? Our Good Night Sleep Site Toolkit. And within that, there's 4 key tools, okay? So earlier bedtime, following consistent sleep patterns is only one of the tools, okay? You know what? I'm going to post our sleep training series, Lisa, in the comments, okay? So that you can read all the tools that we use. Consistent sleep environment, consistent sleep patterns for sure, consistent sleep bedtime routine, and then how we're treating any kind of night wakings or those early morning wakings, okay? But typically, I will be honest, when we're seeing early morning wakings like a 5:15 a.m. waking, that to me is a sign 2 things are going on. 1, your child's probably overtired. It's a sign of an overtired child. So bedtime is perhaps too late. Naps maybe aren't as they, we're not working with restorative naps throughout the day. So at 11 months old, how's baby napping? Is he taking that morning and that afternoon nap as he should? And then it's how are we handling that waking? Are we going in and ending the night sleep? Are we going in and starting the day at 5:15? So that's where we're choosing that method, okay? And that's another one of the tools. So I will post that sleep training series in my comments, and please feel free to watch that. Sarah Sansom, ignore that. Okay, I will, but I'm glad you're watching. Hello, thanks for tuning in. So Lisa, I hope those tips helped you, and read that sleep training series because that might help you as well. And again, guys, if you have any questions on, no problem. If you have any questions on how to work with a Goodnight consultant, head over to goodnightsleepsite.com. You can find out more information there. You can follow us on our Facebook page, Goodnight Sleep Site, and on Twitter and Instagram, GN Sleep Site. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.